Hey everybody, it's Jason Blaha here, and today I want to chat with you guys a little bit about the fact that, everyone wants to seem to criticize me on everything but what the actual topic of my channel is and what it is that I discuss on YouTube. Right? What is the name of my channel? Jason Blaha Strength and Fitness. Strength and fitness. What do I talk about? Strength and fitness. Well, what is strength defined as? The production of force against an external object, right? That's what strength is. What is fitness? Your overall health, athleticism, things like that. Combination of things, everything from, body composition can play a role up to blood work, health markers, everything else, all these things, right? Well, I'm in my 40s and I have perfect blood pressure. I have perfect fasting blood glucose, great resting heart rate. You guys saw my DEXA scan. My last DEXA scan, I had less than half a pound of visceral fat. All right, that means that I am actually at very, very low risk for most health issues. And when I compare myself to most of the guys I went to high school with, I have most of them pretty well crushed, not just in strength, but just overall health. Like I'm just in better health than the majority of guys in my age bracket. So when it comes to things like strength and fitness, I'm doing pretty good. And here I am setting serious strength goals. You guys have seen me squat 485 numerous times in my 40s. You've seen me bench, close grip, pause, well over 300 pounds numerous times. Overhead press 225 plus numerous times. Do weighted chin-ups with 100 pounds. Deadlift 575 without a belt. A lot of different things that I've done. I'm a reasonably strong guy. I'm not the strongest in the world, but I know a hell of a lot about strength programming, and I'm not genetically blessed. That's the thing that everyone wants to point out. What is it people want to criticize me on of all the different things? Let's start with that one. He's not genetically gifted. He has the worst genetics on YouTube. Well, if I'm stronger than you and I'm in my 40s, I'm an old dude. I'm not on TRT anymore. I'm not on any gear. If I'm stronger than you in my 40s as a middle-aged man and I have the worst genetics, then, anyone making that criticism, if I'm stronger than them, they really don't know anything about strength training then. Because they should be better than me if I have the terrible genetics. Especially I'm 42. At 42 years old, guys, come on. What's the other stuff that other people want to criticize me on? That I'm not amazingly aesthetic. Well, again, I don't have great genetics, and I don't run down to an ultra low body fat. I'm cutting right now over time. I'm losing weight. I'm going to get leaner. I'm not going to get like bodybuilder lean. I don't think it's healthy. That's not fitness. So that criticism comes down to this being a fitness channel, right? This is about health and fitness and strength. So why would I do something harmful to my health? That wouldn't be fitness. That would actually be a reason to criticize me. Like if I dieted down to 7% body fat, you could criticize me for promoting bad health and not promoting fitness, right? So they have these criticisms. What other stuff do people say? They want to make all these accusations about my supposed beliefs, my political beliefs, my social beliefs, which people frequently get wrong. I'm not anywhere near as extreme as people like to pretend that I am or create whatever evidence that they think they have to show that I am. I'm actually not. Really not anywhere near as extreme as most people think. And I really don't want to get into all my personal views. And I don't really get into them on this channel. Obviously, I'm very right-wing. Look at all my flags. Right? That should tell you something. But this isn't a political-based channel. Right? This channel is for people who want to get strong. This is for people who want to get jacked. This is for people who want to get strong and fit without getting hurt, particularly as they get older. Right? That's what this channel's for. This channel's not about me talking to you about my views on gun control or my views on Donald Trump or political parties or any sort of political ideology. That's not what it's here for. Now, I have my own views on social stuff and how it relates to training, how it might relate to diet, because there's always going to be social and belief system aspects to those things. And that's going to carry over a lot. And yeah, I might call you a weak pussy. I might even call some of you a cuck. But it's going to be related to diet and training ultimately, because that's what this channel is about, right? That's what this channel is about. I don't promote the other stuff here. That's not what this is for. But people want to make those criticisms as if that has anything to do with what my content's about. Like, let me ask you a question. Even if I believed something that you didn't, and we had opposite beliefs, but I had useful, valuable information for you, wouldn't you take that information? Hell, if you wanted to be my enemy, use that information to your advantage, make yourself better, and defeat me on a field of battle. That would make sense. Like, of course, even if someone was your ideological enemy or an enemy in a war, of course you would still want their information if it was valid. So that's not invalidating of anything. All this other stuff to say, he lies about this, he lies about that. Well, most of the things I'm accused of lying about, I didn't actually lie about. Some of them I've had to clarify points, and I've tried to re-clarify those points. And if something is something that needs to be re-clarified so much that it's not worth discussing, I don't bring it up, and I haven't brought it up in years. There's certain things about certain lifts that I've tried to point out were not necessarily meat legal, far from meat legal, goofy-ass gym lifts with bouncing and garbage, and I wouldn't count them, and I don't bring them up, but it seems like when you mention them years ago, people want to talk about those. They want to talk about just nonsensical stuff that doesn't matter, has nothing to do with the information I'm putting out or what I'm doing with my training or competitiveness or powerlifting meets or anything else, right? They want to argue about things about training in previous sports, or they want to argue about things that I actually am totally honest about, like competitive shooting past and being actually good with guns and whatever. It's like, come on, guys. I have reasonable evidence that that's actually the case. It's not like that's a point of criticism. And here's the point it comes down to. What does my level of marksmanship with a firearm, whether you think I've embellished it or not in some way, what does that have to do with, again, my knowledge of strength training and fitness? What does that have to do with my ability to help people in the purpose of this channel or the discipline of this channel? It doesn't. It doesn't. What does anything related to my social life or any of my exes? Because we know, the internet's confirmed. I've had 3 very long-term relationships with women, right? It's not public knowledge. Well, I guess what I would argue to people, what does any of that, me making bad choices in past partners, and I've made some bad ones, and even if you think that those women made bad choices in me, maybe you think I am a terrible boyfriend and husband and things like that for any of my exes. What does any of that have to do with getting anyone listening stronger? Like, what does it have to do with any of it? Does that in any way affect discussion of linear versus concurrent periodization? Seriously. People want to harp on all these other things. They want to accuse me of stolen valor, which I've already discussed all of that. I've discussed the whole fake Merc thing, and it's very, very clear to anyone who's actually looked into the evidence. I never claimed to have been in the military, right? I've never made that claim. I've said what I've claimed already. I apologize for all of that, and it's all water under the bridge, yet everyone wants to talk about these things. They want to talk about my body fat, yet I'm down 40 pounds, and I've said I'm going to continue to get leaner because I got up over 20% body fat. But you guys have seen me get leaner. There is footage up of me even leaner than I am now, right? There's been times on YouTube when I've been leaner than I am now. I'll get leaner again, so what? All right, so I've corrected those things. I'm in the healthy body fat range as confirmed by DEXA scans. I'm not bodybuilder lean, but so what? What does any of that have to do with my health, with my strength, with me helping other people get strong, reduce injuries, and get as strong as possible and be the best versions of themselves in terms of being physically strong and fit and athletic? What does any of that have to do with those topics? And the reality is, what people better think about is the fact that we're in an industry full of pathological liars. And that's the ironic thing. Everyone wants to throw at me that I'm some insane pathological liar. This whole industry is full of pathological liars. That's the irony. Anything that people think that I have lied about doesn't even compete with the average other fitness YouTuber who's selling supplements. They're telling you that supplements work and they're ripping people off. They're selling workout programs that are really should be free that aren't even that good that they're charging an arm and a leg for, right? Straight up con men. Mike O'Hearn, look at all his claims of natty, then selling duck eggs, claiming his duck eggs keeping young, $700. Now that's pathological lying, guys. Okay? There's a difference. And it's ironic that all the people I've called out and all the industries I've called out for being con men's and the things that they do to just rip people off, those same industries sure, they seem to have a vested interest in making me sound like a liar, don't they? But you know what? At the end of the day, no one really wants to argue with me about strength training. No one actually wants to argue with me about what my channel is actually about, do they? They don't. Because they know I have them beat there. They know that they can't hang with me on those topics. They know that they can't hang with me on those topics. Because I know more than they do. So they have to attack me on everything else but what this channel is actually about. Because the truth is, none of my detractors out there can actually go toe-to-toe with me on the actual training knowledge and the subject matter of what my entire channel is about. Let that sink in. Alright guys, but that's really all I have to say on that today. I hope it's been informative, and I will talk to you guys next time.